Today's topic is one that is very dear to my heart and a key component of effective leadership. That is organisation. We know that leaders wear many hats and have many different priorities, but being disorganised can really create chaos for your team and yourself. So why does organisation and leadership matter? First of all, it really increases efficiency. You make better use of your time, reduce stress, and allows you to focus on the things that really matter. Number two is it creates clear communication. With organised information, you can then clearly communicate the main points that you need to those that need to know things. It means you're communicating tasks and deadlines clearly, leading to less confusion and frustration. Being organised also creates stronger decision making, as if you can access information quicker because it is all organised for you, then you can make more informed decisions. It also sets a positive example. Your organisational skills can inspire your team to also prioritise and organise themselves more effectively. Now, those are some great reasons for why organisation is very important in leadership. But how do you do it? The first thing is to master your to-do list. Choose a system that really works for you. I used to write everything down in a book, which I would rapidly fill it with multiple notes as I went from meeting to meeting. Then I would turn myself out trying to organise it with post-it flags so that I could go back and find things. And it was a pain in the neck and it wasted a lot of my time. So I went digital and created my own system, which includes taking notes in a notes app if it's a meeting, but also utilising my diary more effectively. So if I'm in a meeting and a task is assigned to me, I'll quickly open up my calendar and I'll pop the task in for a day before it's due with time so that I can get it done. And then I don't have to worry about it because I know I've got it scheduled and that when that day and that appointment comes up, I'll have time set aside to actually get the task done. This way, everything comes up in my calendar before it's due. This system was a real game changer for my efficiency. Part of this is also prioritising tasks realistically to avoid overloading yourself. Again, having a method to organise your to-do list will really help with this one. Using my calendar method to block time in my diary to finish tasks means that when I actually go to put that task in my diary before it's due, I can see what else I've got on for that day or that week that could impact it. So then I plan appropriately given the time that I have available. Remember to break tasks or projects down into smaller steps too. So I wouldn't normally block out a 3-hour chunk of time to get some big project all done in one hit. I would break it into 3 phases so that I do phase 1 at the start of the week, maybe phase 2 towards the end of the week, and maybe the final stages of the project on the Monday the following week. It just makes it less overwhelming if you do have something really big to get done. Another tip for being an organised leader is to tame your inbox. Unsubscribe from unnecessary emails. I love unsubscribing from email lists. Really think about this in terms of what do you actually need to know? What do you subscribe to that you actually need to have coming into your inbox? I was subscribed to a sleep email that used to send an email to my inbox every morning talking about what steps I should take if my sleep was bad or good or interrupted. And every morning I would roll my eyes but still read it and then do absolutely none of the steps that they suggested. Such a waste of time. So I finally unsubscribed and it changed my life. Just kidding. It was just one less email, but that's still good. Utilize folders and labels to categorize your emails. I have a love-hate relationship with email folders. At one point I had over 30 email folders and it looked good, it was organized, but then every time I wanted to go back to something, I'd still have to use the search bar in my emails to ever find anything because I could never remember quite what rule I was using to put the emails in certain boxes. So my lesson was that I just have 3. One of them is the inbox, the other one is for your information, and then the last one is actioned. Then I just search for things and filter by name or date to find emails if I need to go back. I also developed a system for my emails and how I handle them. My system is that if something is in my inbox, it's because I need to do something with it. And once I have finished with it, or read it, or actioned it, it goes into the either for your information or into the action folder. The other tip around being organised as a leader is to schedule effectively. Block time in your calendar for focus work. I use the Microsoft Viva tool. It schedules focus time in my diary every day where it finds a gap, using the protect my time settings. I then put a note beside this focus time in my diary on what I'm actually going to spend that time doing. When I am scheduled in focus time, it also changes my online status to do not disturb, so I don't get calls or messages coming through to me either unless they're urgent. So I do try to be really strategic about what I want to use the do not disturb focus time for. Schedule meetings with clear agenda items and actions. To manage this, I will put a wee locked private note in my calendar beside the meeting that I have, and then I'll jot down the things that I know I want to ask, cover off or raise in that meeting. I often find that I add to this close to the meeting time too, as I'm more thinking about, okay, I've got that coming up, what have I thought about? And then I've got somewhere to quickly put those things that I can really easily bring up in the meeting. I just have to click on the wee note in my diary and then I can refer to all of my notes. I have also done a video on how to maximise your time in meetings too, which I'll link on the screen. The next thing about scheduling time effectively is about saying no. This is pretty important. If your plate is already full, you need to be clear about what it is that is your priority and what you can say no to. There are a lot of juggling priorities as a leader, and you can't say yes to everything. And it can also help if you've mastered the art of delegation too, as this means that you can also use the skills and support of your team to get through the workload. Because it may seem easier just to do everything yourself in the moment, but building a culture of delegation really pays off in the long run. Your team becomes more skilled and engaged, and you free up your time to focus on the more strategic priorities that you need to. So my fourth tip is harnessing technology. Use project management tools to keep track of tasks. There are many task apps that you can use to manage your time effectively. I personally just use my calendar and scheduling apps for effectively managing my time and my tasks. But you have to choose a method that is going to work for you. You can also explore note apps so that you can organise all the things that you want to note down. And I do this using an app because it means that often I think of things when I'm not on my computer and I need a way to link my phone with my computer, so I can jot it down in my notes app and it automatically updates on my computer notes as well. Now, don't get discouraged if you can't master efficiency overnight. The key is to start small and find what works for you. I've definitely tried out lots of different methods for organisation, and I've worked out a system that works for me. However, I'm always open to being more efficient with my time, so I'll always be looking for new ways that I can do that. Having only 3 email folders may not work for you, and you are more organised if you have 20. But again, just do what works for you. Take out what is going to be effective for your own organisation. I know that being a more organised leader means that I am calmer, more confident, and communicate more clearly with my team. And if you really want to lean into how you can use delegation to help with your own workflow and empower and grow your team, make sure you check out the video linked on the screen. Thanks very much for watching.